DINKWADs, double income, no kids, with a dog. The DINKWAD phenomenon describes the occurrence of couples that are working that get to spend their money on different things like traveling, hobbies, and their pets. I mean, we've all heard of those couples that just came back from their European vacation and then are starting to brag about their dog's new organic diet. But where did the word actually come from? The word DINK, double income, no kids, was actually created in the 80s by the Los Angeles Times, which published a piece coining the name double income, no kids, depicting women that were shifting their focus from families to their careers. And by the 2000s and onward, we were expecting women to have it all, both careers and children. If you were born anywhere between 1981 and 2001, odds are you've been asked when you're gonna have kids or when you're gonna start a family. And for quite a few of us, that might not be in the picture. Hence our new life stage of being dinks. Dinks haven't always been an acceptable way of life. In the 1600s, if you didn't have kids, we were considered witches. And with the baby boom era, if we were married, then we also had kids. And with the civil rights era, we started finally getting to the point where we could start focusing on our careers instead of having traditional families, which kind of paved the way for dinks.
Personally, the whole decade of my 20s, I was not aware that not having kids was even an option. I got married at the ripe age of 23 and went straight into grad school. Kids were definitely not desired at that moment, but we did get a dog, turning us into dinkwads. Fast forward to my late 20s, and suddenly some of our friends were starting their own families. It seemed like the next logical step. And I got sucked into defaulting into this logic. But it still wasn't a practical time since my husband Corey was still in school. So we did the next logical thing. We got another dog. In the last year of our 20s, Corey finally finished his training as a doctor, and suddenly we don't have any more excuses. The question now is, being dinkwads a viable lifestyle for us? Every woman can understand the pressure others put on us to have kids. From family, when are you having kids? Don't wait too long, to society. Oh, you'll understand when you have kids of your own. Oh, don't worry, you'll change your mind someday. For God's sake, some of our first toys were baby dolls. Society wants us to grow up and become mothers.
And those are stereotypical experiences. I mean, you could have somebody ask you, hey, are you pregnant? Definitely not wearing that shirt again. Or it might be as direct as a family member asking you, do you even want kids? I mean, what are you supposed to say to that?
So some of your friends are fitting into the traditional family unit, while society continues to pressure you. And you're still thinking kids might never be in the plans. Or you definitely want a kid-free future. As a therapist, I've heard a million different reasons. I've heard, I had a messed up childhood and I don't want to pass that on. I've heard, we can't even afford a down payment on a house, let alone thinking of paying for a child. Or simply, I don't like kids. There's a reason this saying exists. Plants are the new pets, pets are the new children, and children are the new exotic animals. You have to be a little bit crazy or rich to have them. It's no secret that the world we live in today is not ideal. And it's a valid concern to not want to introduce new life to a broken planet.
And honestly, there are some celebs that have never had kids, like Betty White, Dolly Parton, and Jennifer Aniston. And they've lived wildly successful lives and fulfilling lives.
Hello, Freedom Medal. We as women do a lot of incredible things in this world other than just procreate. And not that that is not.
And believe it or not, they haven't regretted it either.
And while these celebrities have been harassed themselves, they've been busy making their own TVs and movies about independent characters that don't have kids. Have you ever noticed how we used to watch movies and TV like Andy Griffith's Show and The Brady Bunch that were focused solely on families? Now we don't really do that anymore. We watch things like Friends and The Queen's Gambit and The Office. TV has stopped focusing on family units and started focusing more on independent characters chasing their dreams and ambitions. At the end of the day, the DINKWAD phenomenon isn't going anywhere. So the choice to join is really up to you.